Thank you. I appreciate Doctor for being here. But based on what I've heard now, I just want to make a statement. If I understand correctly, if the VA would assert ownership on just a few of these issues, such as the Hep C or HIV treatment, that could create an influx of billions of dollars into the VA for our veterans. Is that accurate?
This is all hypothetical because I don't know what % ownership we potentially could assert, but potentially this drug is certainly a multi-billion-dollar drug. Absolutely.
Have we asserted any ownership in this?
No, we haven't.
Okay. I have 5 questions I'd like to quickly get through just for the record, Doctor. What were the total number of invention disclosures received by TTP for fiscal years 2013 and 2014?
I believe that we disclosed in 13, 272, and in 14, 304.
And how many inventions did VA assert an ownership interest in fiscal year 2013 and 2014?
How many?
Ownership interest.
Of those, 113 and 98 and 14.
Okay. Is there a backlog, or what is the backlog of invention disclosures waiting to be processed by TTP?
There is a backlog. In 13, there are still 5 pending, and in 14, there are 23 pending.
Okay. And how many of these VA-owned inventions are jointly owned with the academic affiliate?
Most are jointly owned with the academic affiliate. Around 95% are jointly owned.
And you're able to identify what percentage is owned by the affiliate?
Yes. Yes. It's a high percentage, about 95% are owned jointly with our affiliates.
And what percentage is generally owned by the affiliate? Is that vary?
What percent? That would really vary depending upon where the research was done and where the time and effort was put in. Sometimes VA has a small amount. Sometimes VA has the majority amount.
Okay. And how many patent applications did VA file in fiscal year 2013 and 14 for solely owned inventions?
In both fiscal year 2013, 25, and also the same number, 25 and 14.
And were those patent applications approved?
They were filed. They're not approved. So you know, the patent process, as I'm sure you're aware, often takes a couple years, but those are the numbers that were filed. I think that 3 patents were approved in 13 and 4 in 14.
And Dr. Shulkin, how long have you been in this position again?
Almost 7 months.
Almost 7 months. And were you with the VA before, in what position?
No. I have spent my entire life in the private sector. I had a pretty good job before doing this, and I was asked to come in and help turn around the VA.
Apparently not as good as Dr. Shinazi had as well, Doctor. But what is bothersome to me amongst many of these things is the fact that the sale was, I guess, public 4 years ago. I mean, what has the VA been doing to establish an ownership interest? I mean, could you describe what has been occurring? And obviously, you've only been there 6 months, but this occurred 3 years before you even came, and we're talking about billions of dollars. Can you describe the process that the VA has done to establish an ownership interest and to investigate this issue?
Well, I'm going to refrain from anything specific about Dr. Shinazi. I think that much of what we've been looking into when I became aware of this is a result of the Chairman's letter to us.
And that raises the question and concern. Again, this was 4 years ago when he sold this for $400 million profit. And we're sitting in a hearing today, and this is the first time I heard about it. When did you first hear about this? And again, has the VA done anything until January of 2017?
The Chairman's letter to us was dated December 17th of 2015. I first became aware of it January 15th of 2016. And
so can you say whether anything, what's the status of an investigation? And did anything happen before you were made aware of it? Again, 3 years after the sale. I mean, this drug has been on the market, and the VA finally discovered this guy works for you? And was working for you a year ago when you first discovered this? And tell me what investigation has occurred.
So we were certainly aware that Dr. Shinazi has been an employee of VA for 33 years, no question about that. That wasn't a surprise.
But he just sold a company for $400 million. Did anybody know about that?
I'm not aware of who knew what 3 or 4 years ago. That's one of the reasons why I'm going to make sure that we take a look at everything that's involved in this to make sure that we do get answers to the types of questions you're asking.
Well, I want to answer the question is why investigation has not occurred more quickly. Why are we talking about years after the fact? We're talking about millions of dollars that should go probably to the VA. I mean, we also need to investigate is what did he leave with in the last 10 days? He's 7/8 of his time. I can see where he walked out with a lot of stuff. I don't know.
Yep.
Is he allowed to maintain an email network on his own? Do we even know any answer to these questions?
No. Once you leave federal employment, everything will stop in terms of that.
Unless he took stuff home beforehand or took it to the affiliate. My question is, we're talking about millions of dollars, and Mr. Chairman, I don't know why they didn't look into this before your letter. Thanks for the letter. I mean, this is shocking.
Yep.
And we're talking about billions of dollars. So I appreciate if you would provide with the committee as soon as possible evidence that investigation occurred long before this comes up before the VA committee.
I think Congressman, I think there are two things. One is I would be willing, and absolutely at any time that you want, to sit down in a closed hearing or privately, I just can't do this in a public forum, and share with you everything that I know right now. And I have provided a letter with some of that, but I would be glad to share everything that I know to this date. But as I said, my intention is to actually find out more and to do a thorough review of the details. So we could either sit down now or sit down later, but absolutely I will share that with you.
And I will, your time's